Warning: the following audio podcast may include language of an adult, nonsensical, repetitive, and quite frankly, moronic nature. On the plus side, if you watch the video version, you get to see two sexy motherfuckers. Enjoy the show.
And now, coming to you live from the tri-state area and San Francisco, California, it's the best part of Wednesday, Waffle Box, with your hosts, Mike Fish and Kush Hayes.
Ooh, welcome to Waffle Box, the podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and nothing all at the same time. Coming up on episode 143, are our athletes taking enough steroids? We celebrate National Joe Day in this week's Celebrity Battle Royale. Kush ain't afraid of no ghosts in this week's movie review, and much, much more. I am Mike Fish, and I am joined, as always, by the main man from San Fran. It's Mr. Kush Hayes. Kush, how you doing, buddy?
What's good, y'all? Kush Hayes here, coming to episode 143. 143. That's the Waffle Box, the original Waffle Box. You accept no substitutes because it is the best part of Wednesdays and always shall be. Coming in from the future home of Super Bowl 60. Much like the pager code 143, you love us because we do this. We do this because we love you. Producer Lathan, what's shaking?
What's good in the hood, Kush? I am doing just swimmingly, thank you for asking. And may I be the first to congratulate Mike, as the word on the street is that he has once again become the proud father of a little fur baby. People say that having a dog is not the same as having a baby. But if you ask me, the similarities are too much to ignore. You won't have a good night's sleep for a while.
Facts.
Their shit smells like, well, shit.
Facts.
And if you don't keep them fed, they'll die. Which, as I understand, is generally frowned upon these days.
Okay.
Yes, I have welcomed my house to another fur baby. A little 9-year-old Oliver has joined us. And Lathan is 100% correct. I am excruciatingly tired right now because, I'm sure, some people make the connections. Maybe it's a good training, but I'm not going to say that having a puppy is the same as having a baby, but I'm pretty sure the sleep schedule is very accurate. For a 9-week-old, he cries and howls incredibly loudly. It's almost impressive, but it's very annoying at 4:30 in the morning.
What do you think that's all about?
So, that's the big news in my household.
What do you think that's all about? The crying and the moaning at 4 a.m.
Well,
Because I don't have a dog, so I have nothing to oh, it must be hungry. Like, I don't know. What do you think it is?
I think it's a multitude of things. So one, so he was originally part of a litter of 4.
Interesting. Oh.
Unfortunately, one passed away early. So it was split into 3, and then I took 2 of them. So 2 of them spent the night at my house on Saturday, but then one was taken away by someone else. So we'll still be able to meet up with that brother, but now he's kind of been separated from the pack, and so it's like his first couple of days on his own without his brothers. So I'm sure he's very sad and very missing them. But also we are crate training him. And if you don't know about what crate training is, basically you have a cage in which you put the bed in the cage, and so you keep him in that for the majority of the time, because dogs, much like humans, don't like to piss and shit in their bed. So it forces them to learn to hold their bladder until you allow them out to pee. And so it's like another form of house training. So that's his another way of him saying, "Papa, I need to pee pee." And because he's very young, he has a small bladder. So it's what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I'm sure in a year's time I'll be like, "Oh, it was all worth it. He's my little baby." But for right now, I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm gonna sleep so bad.
Was Oliver given to him by you or someone else?
So it was a friend of a friend. Oh, the name. I know that was a Mike Fish original.
Okay. Any inspiration behind that? Any story behind that?
So I was looking for names of what to do, and so one name was going to be, because it's a Maltese dog, So if you don't know much about Maltese, they're small and very white.
Okay.
So one of the names I was going to go was Casper.
Kind of fun.
A bit generic, but maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But then also, if you know anything about the Maltese breed, they're very...
No, shaking my head again. No.
Yeah, that's fine. But they're very... Well, that name I was going to go with was Loki,
Oh,
God of
silly.
Mischief, because they're going to be... He's going to be very mischievous.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was like, I want a name that's a full name, but also one that lends itself well to a shortening that you can call it for a nickname. And because it's tiny and it doesn't let go, it always wants more. So that's where Oliver came from. So it's Oliver Twist. Please, sir,
Gotcha.
can I have some more? So he's Ollie. Oliver. That's the end of that story. But yeah, that's how he became named, and he's behind me. I don't know if you're watching the video version. I'll lean to one side. You can see the crate behind me there, right down there somewhere. There.
Yeah, everything is a silhouette, so that's okay. That's okay. I believe you.
But just if you imagine a black cage with a small, tiny white dog in it, that's what the picture is. And I had to, because we're taking him to the vets tomorrow to get his first shots, so he's going to be vaccinated. So that way we can properly introduce him to Oreo, so they can play and have fun. And I had to weigh the dog for the onboarding forms for the vet. Do you want to get? I mean, again, you have no realm of, so I'm not going to make a guess, but he was 3.5 pounds. Bless him. That's how tiny this dog is. 3.5 pounds. That's like half of what I weigh. Because I'm skinny. But yeah, that's my story. That's what's been big in my news. How about you, Kush? What have you been up to? What's been big in the production world of the NBA? Have you all wrapped up, or how's that looking? What's going on in your world?
As far as I know, my NBA season is done. There's still a handful of games left in the season. I believe there's 4 more home games left. As of this moment, I'm not invited to any of them, so that's okay. Looking forward to baseball. I got the Giants home opener series, the home opening series in less than 2 weeks. So I'm looking forward to that very much so.
Very nice, very nice. So there's still some games to go, but your NBA season's finished. We should
For
call
now.
you the Brooklyn Nets. Before we get into the top stories, there is some things I want to talk about. So one,
what's on your mind?
Have you watched Physical 100 on Netflix?
I don't know what that is. No.
Okay, so it's a Korean show. It's like a game show.
Okay.
Where they take 100 very physically gifted people, men and women, and they put them in it's not Squid Games, but it's sort of where they put them in human testing things, and they slowly get eliminated. So the whole idea is that the strongest, most powerful person wins, right?
And all the contestants are Korean.
I've spotted like one white guy and one black guy. But yeah, like 97 of them are Korean, pretty much.
Okay.
And it's one of these shows where it's in Korean, and so it's dubbed for the Western audience. And I don't know whether, because I don't know enough about the Korean lifestyle or the Korean way of living. So I don't know whether it's actually like an accurate translation, which I'm assuming it's not, because the dubs and they're always messed up somehow.
They try to localize it or regionalize it for us. But anyways.
But whoever's doing it in charge of this has made the Korean people, mainly the Korean men, look incredibly misogynistic and sexist. Because it's like whenever like a woman does something impressive,
okay,
a feat of strength or something, they always cut to a guy and he says something in Korean, and then the dub guy pretty much says word for word, "Wow, that's impressive. I had no idea a woman could do that." But wow, that's just a horrible thing to say. Like, what the fuck? And it's just that the whole show is just pretty much men going, "Whoa, I didn't know women could drive. Whoa, I didn't know they could do that." It's so. It's not a good advertisement for Korea. Let's just say
I have
that.
a strange feeling if the Korean men weren't actually saying that and it wasn't actually being dubbed correctly, I have a feeling it would have gotten back to them by now, and there would have been some sort of stink. So
So what you're saying is probably the dubbing's accurate-ish.
accurate-ish, yeah. I am surprised though there is no English subtitles, and then just like no, just give me the natural Korean, stupid. Like
I would much. I mean, I've said it once. I've said it 100 times on the show. I hate when foreign shows are dubbed in English.
Mhm.
It's just like I say, just give me the subtitles and let me hear the voices. Because even if I can't understand what they're saying, you get the tone, you can
Mhm.
understand. Okay, how do they feel when they said that? And I can just read what it says in English. But because when they dub it, especially when the shows, again, I've said it several times, when the dubbing is different from the subtitles as well. It's like, why the same team not working on this? How is this when it's like the dubbing says,
I mean, those are
"Wow, I
farmed
have to
out
shoot this
to.
guy," and then the subtitles goes, "No, I'm gonna stab him." It's like, what?
That's those are farmed out to other houses, and that's yeah. They don't have time to check every translation. Um, yeah, that was a big problem I had when we originally did the original Squid Games, and I think it was just a glitch on my app because I've seen I've seen people throw to clips of it where it's in Korean. Um, Also, like again, it's all about the acting and the tone, and like I would come into this problem multiple times while watching the series Narcos, where like again they're speaking all Spanish. I'm getting the English subtitle there, but the tone is so dramatic and rich that I like lean into my TV set, and then for no reason just turn the volume up. I don't understand what the fuck they're saying anyways, but like for whatever reason, I'm like I need to hear this. Like
Yeah.
this is powerful. And then you remember, oh yeah, we don't speak Spanish, stupid, and you feel dumb. So
Speaking of this, maybe this episode could be called "Lost in Translation." Did have you been keeping up with the Shohei Ohtani situation?
oh, the Dodgers pitcher. I
Yeah.
heard heard on Monday there was a press conference where no cameras were allowed in, which is
Oh yeah,
kind
they
of
said stop filming with your phones. Don't do that.
yeah, don't no
Which I don't
filming.
understand. Like why?
Yeah.
And but
I don't
anyway,
know if audio recordings were allowed, but it's not looking good for the dude. Has there been any updates since that press
so
conference?
as of right now, so if you don't know, so a couple of days ago, it came out that Shohei Ohtani, baseball player, Japanese for the LA Dodgers.
See, yes.
Yep. His translator had just paid off a bunch of gambling losses by saying, "Oh, Shohei Ohtani gave me the 4 million to pay off my debts," and then the next day, suddenly Shohei Ohtani was like, "Oh, what the fuck? No, I didn't. Did you steal $4 million from me?" And now it's a big thing because they want to find out, well, did Shohei Ohtani get involved in this? Because if so, that's naughty because that's against the rules. Or if not, did this guy actually do wire fraud and that's a federal crime? It's a whole messy situation. And so on Monday, he held a press conference where no one was allowed to ask questions. But the reason I was going to bring this up, because I think this is going to be an interesting story, one we might discuss on a later Waffle Box once more information comes out, because right now it's speculation and ballyhoo. But speaking of like translation and subtitles and yada yada yada, right? I'm not going to do like a Japanese accent while I pretend to speak Japanese. I'm not going to do that.
Smart, very
But
smart.
I was listening to the press conference on the radio in the car, and so you had Shohei Ohtani speaking, and then I guess his new translator, the one that didn't steal $4 million from him, is translating in English. And I was like, either this guy is just brushing over a lot of stuff, or the Japanese language is incredibly complicated. Because Shohei Ohtani would say like, and then the translator would go, "Thank you for coming." Wait, that's what he just seriously after all that? That's all he said? I don't believe you. That's It's just the whole thing was just him saying lots and lots and lots of things, and then the translator would be like, "Web's nice, isn't it?" It was just like, I'm sure he's saying more than that. I wish I knew Japanese now, but
I mean, if you really want to know what he says, the Google Translate is your friend, man. Like, put it
I
on
should have done
Japanese.
that. I should have opened my Google app and recorded it. And
You still can.
I guess I could go back to watch it.
If you really need to. But yeah.
Wouldn't it be funny if I did that and it was like Sherry Otani was speaking and I recorded it on Google and then the translation was basically like, look at this fat fuck in the front row. I bet it's just talking shit about all the reporters. And the translator's like, shit. Just make
That
it
would be
stuff
fun.
up. That would be fun. He would become my favorite player if that was the fact. Oh, showy. Plus, his name is fun to say. Showy. Like, that's a great name for a really because he's one of those rare. But I'm not a baseball guy, but as I understand, it's very rare to find someone that's very good at pitching and very good at batting.
Oh, okay.
Like he does both. He's like he'll smash like 3 home runs and then get everyone out. I don't know. That's baseball terminology. And so for a very flashy player, it's cool that his name is Showy. It's like, oh, hey, I'm just showing off. He could say that could be his catchphrase, maybe.
Oh, let's put that in the maybe pile. In the light maybe pile.
Lathan, do not make that a t-shirt. Cancel it. Cancel.
Push off the desk and into a waste track.
With a basketball net and slam dunk that home run into the end zone.
There you go.
Shall we get into the news?
Why not?
Because spoiler alert, Taylor Swift's back in.
Oh shit! What did my girl Tay Tay do now?
Spoiler alert, not much, but those damn media people are trying to shoehorn her to shit into things. So Lathan, if you could do me the favor, hit the jingle. It's time for this week's top stories.
It's now time for this week's top stories.
Taylor Swift, where have you been? Because apparently, did you see? Oh, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are on a break, and everyone was making a big thing of that. So what? They're splitting up, and then that was the big headline. The actual crux of the story was they're taking a break, because in they're going on vacation. They're like staying away from everything. Yeah, it's like, but in the most beautiful chef's kiss way of somehow turning a mundane story and trying to make it slightly interesting, sprinkle a little Tay-Tay in there. And this is what my friends over at the BBC have been doing recently. So basically, if you remember back to when the Kansas City Chiefs hosted the Miami Dolphins for the AFC wildcard game, back on the 13th of January. Oh, do you remember January?
A couple guys froze in the backyard, if I recall, that day.
Indeed, that was a yeah, because
we never heard what the outcome of that was either.
Because it was probably like, just drugs and
just drunk and drugged, yeah. But anyway,
yeah. So during that game, spectators braved, as the story says, minus 20 degrees Celsius brackets minus 4 degrees Fahrenheit temperatures to watch Kansas City Chiefs take on the Miami Dolphins at Arrowhead Stadium, with the wind chill dipping the temperatures as low as minus 27 degrees Fahrenheit, which is pretty fucking cold. As a result, some fans had to be treated for frostbite, which caused damage to the skin and tissue, particularly extremities such as fingers and toes, after exposure to freezing temperatures. The Research Medical Center in Kansas said it had treated dozens of people who had experienced frostbite during the 11-day cold snap at the beginning of the year. 12 of those people, including some who were at the football game, had to undergo amputations involving mostly fingers and toes.
As much as I appreciate that some people's personal happiness is dictated by how well their local town does at a game, I can't help but feel this is just another sweet example of evolution at work. If you're dumb enough to spend at least 4 hours standing around in minus 27-degree weather, you deserve to lose at least a toe. Actually, I hope some of them lost their dicks because, let's be honest, they're probably too dumb to know what to do with it anyway.
Damn. Okay.
Jeez.
Not a sports fan, Lathan. But here's why I bring this story up.
Mhm.
So that was the story. That's the space. Hey, some people went out. It was very cold and got frostbite and had to have some digits cut off. Right? Not. It's an interesting story, I guess, but it's not that.
I'd have thought a couple nipples would have gotten lost myself because
Oh.
they guys tend to not wear shirts during these games.
But maybe
you actually have a story.
But maybe the body paint saved them.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Who knows? I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know science. But here's what the headline was. So whoever wrote this article was like, you know what, this I guess this is somewhat of a story, but it's not juicy. I'm looking for a pay rise coming up soon. I need to get clicks. I need to get people viewing my articles to show that I deserve a pay rise. How can I get people to view my article about people getting frostbite and losing a couple of fingers? Headline. NFL fans who went to minus 20 degrees Celsius game attended by Taylor Swift underwent amputations.
Oh.
Like as if to say it was, it'd have been fine. That'd have been fine. But because she was there, they had to get what? Why is that part of the story? That was Taylor Swift was not mentioned in any part. It was just like headline. Yeah, Taylor Swift was there. That
This is going to be some weird analytic thing where people stay on the page a whole 87 seconds longer looking for why Taylor Swift's name was in the headline and then go oh, it's just about a bunch of dicks getting cut off. All right, I guess.
Yeah, good luck finding Taylor Swift in that story, but it's ridiculous. Why? This just annoyed me. Anyway, this is the main story that I really wanted to talk about. Oh,
all right.
Because there's so much to unpack in this story. I'll read it and then we can discuss it a bit more, right? Okay. So as we know, the Olympics. It's an Olympic year.
Coming to Paris.
Ooh, wee, baguette. Oh, do you know what? Actually, side thought real quick, because I was watching Physical 100 and this with the dubbing guy kind of annoyed me. Right? Is it just me, or do you agree with me? Right? I 100% sign off with my pen, signed off that if you are using a word from another language, i.e., using a French word or a Japanese word or a German, I don't know, name the fucking countries, I don't give a shit, right? By all means, pronounce the word as it is pronounced in the mother tongue, right? For example, so for example, a long, round bread, you say, it's a baguette. Right, you don't try to do as it's spelled in English. You don't call it a baguette. You say, it's a baguette because that's how it's baguette in French, right? But can I say it's so obnoxious and borderline offensive, maybe, when people try to pronounce it with the accent of that country.
Oh,
that's so fucking annoying. I hate it because I was watching it when, again, the dubbing guy from Physical 100 he's not, maybe he is Korean, but he's speaking in an American accent. But when they have people who are weightlifters, martial artists, boxers, things like that all over around. And then there's this one guy who trains in karate. And so the dubbing guy was just talking in an American accent going, oh yeah, so I'm 32 years old. I was once a professional such and such, and I also trained in karate. So what? Why are you doing that?
Karate.
And then he kept doing it. And it was each time he got a little bit more sensual, more sexual. Oh, karate. Stop doing that, please. I don't like that. They karate. It's fine. We know what you mean. But anyway, so Paris. So Olympics, back to the Olympics. The best athletes around the world compete against one another for the chance to get a shiny medal that one day they will no doubt pawn to sustain their lifestyle. Let's just say that. But one Australian businessman thinks that There is one major flaw in the Olympic Games, Kush.
What's
He
that?
thinks they're not taking enough drugs. That's what his big problem is.
Oh,
So in 2023, Aaron DeSouza came up with the idea for a new style of Olympics, but nobody gets tested for any kind of drugs.
mhm.
And he's come up with the imaginative name, the Enhanced Games.
Oh, that's dumb.
It's very dumb. And
Yeah.
some former athletes are now apparently coming out of retirement to sign up for this shit. But
Silly.
shockingly, there are some people who think this would be a bad idea. So Kieran Perkins, who is a former Olympic, world, and Commonwealth champion swimmer, said, "The idea of an enhanced games is laughable. Someone will die if we allow that sort of environment to continue to prosper and flourish. We don't want people to be taking performance-enhancing drugs because of the significant impact it has on them and their future families." However, Aaron DeSouza said the competition would prioritize athletes' well-being by letting them take lots of drugs. Yeah, sure. Lathan, any thoughts?
Well, now you've explained this. I'll have to be honest and say I'm a little disappointed. Because when I first heard about this, I thought this was going to be a mixture of Hunger Games and intervention. Like, take 10 heroin addicts, but put only 5 syringes in the battlefield and let the games begin. Oh, well, I guess I'll have to go to Shark Tank myself and raise the cash for that awesome idea.
Yeah. Good luck.
That actually sounds like something out of RoboCop or yeah.
Or how
something
the
very
Joker would
dystopian.
like pick his clan members, you know, with
Something the puppet from Saw would do. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, as I said, there seems to be a lot to unpack in this situation here, right? Because one, yes, let's be serious for a second. Not that I like to be serious, you know me. But yeah, it's steroids. Again, if you're watching a video version, you might be shocked to find I don't take steroids. But through my fandom of wrestling and listening to wrestling interviews and documentaries and yada 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 yada, as far as I understand, if used correctly, steroids aren't that bad. In that, if you, because it's not like a case of like you just go get the syringe, go steroids, and then you like fucking Popeye. You have to still put in the work. It's the steroids helps you out a little bit more, and then if you use it correctly, and it's called like you can cycle on and off of them. So you use the steroids to get bigger, and then you stop using the steroids, and you just work out to maintain the muscle mass. And so you don't rely on the steroids. However, obviously, some people, I don't know if you heard the word on the street, Kush. Some people don't use drugs correctly. They abuse them. They abuse them. I've heard this rumor. Right?
I think I've heard that too. Oh.
And so they go too much, and they get blah, 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 and they get roid rage, and or the penis shrinks, and the nuts shrink, and they go nuts and crazy, right?
Yuck.
So it's not a good idea to do steroids because it's
Don't do it. It's bad.
They're very Moorish, as far as I understand. But put that to one side. Surely the whole idea of doing steroids is to get an unfair sporting advantage, right? That's what Barry Bonds did and other athletes that took steroids, right? To hit balls.
Barry Bonds was never convicted of doing steroids.
He didn't. Okay, fine. Allegedly, Barry Bonds did. But if you're allowing steroids, and so everyone does steroids, surely then that's a level playing field. And so in the end, the best athlete's going to win anyway. So what's the fucking point? It's you just might as well just go to the regular Olympics and not take steroids. And people, I don't know, it just seems stupid to me. Like I don't get it. What do you think?
Don't worry. There's not really much to get. There's a documentary out there called Bigger, Stronger, Faster, and it goes into a lot of these details. I think it's a little over a decade old now, but still a fascinating documentary about performance enhancers. And it's one of those things where like one year they tested everyone in the Tour de France. I don't recall if What's His Nuts was a part of it anymore at that point, but like they had to get down like to the guy who came in 22nd place, who was the first person to not be on steroids or any kind of performance enhancer. And that was just like, yeah, you'd have to eliminate these top 21 guys, and this would be your winner. And they're like, we're just not doing that.
Oh, I'd have been so good if the guy who came 22nd suddenly got a medal. Like, what? Fucking hell.
It'd be pretty neat, right? They just show up at his door, ring the doorbell, like, hey, pal.
As he's like throwing his bike away. Well, this was worthless. 22nd. Shit. Oh, I won? Fuck. Let me get a bike back.
Going for 2 next year. 2.
No, maybe if I used to. No, but yeah, it's like, imagine like it's like you and 9 other guys in a big dick contest, and then you all go to get surgery to extend your penises by 4 inches.
Oh my god, how would I drive my car?
Well, exactly. Well, guess what? You're still gonna have the smallest dick because everyone else extended theirs by 4 inches. Now it's pointless. Just leave your dick alone. That's what I'm saying. I guess is the moral of this story. But just, but to be fair though, even though I can't, I don't think this is going to get off the ground. I'll be honest. I don't think this is going to ever happen. It's one of those stories where you're like, this isn't going to happen. But if it does, I'll watch it. I want to see what, as long as they have
check it out at least once, right?
As long as they have fun events. I don't want to see the same. Like I want to see steroids ping pong or something. That'd be 2 jacked guys smashing the shit out of this ping pong ball.
Yeah. You checked out the slap competition during the pandemic, or at least once. Ric Flair was a judge or an MC, or I don't know what Grandpa was doing there. But...
Was that Dana White's?
No, it was through Triller. Dana White, I think, is doing something similar to that now. However, this was at the beginning stage of the pandemic. We're like, yeah, Florida's saying people can get within 5 feet of each other and not to worry. And they're like, all right, well, let's slap the shit out of each other.
I can't remember what it was. It wasn't called Slap Wars or something. It was something.
Slabathon or
something stupid. But I remember when, because it was supposed to be, I think one episode aired on TNT or TBS, if I remember correctly, and then it got pulled for a moment, like for a few weeks, because Dana White got caught slapping the shit out of his wife in public, and the network were like, that might not be the best way to promote this show. Although, but still,
news to me.
They ended up finishing it. Bless them. America. So there you go. That's the big story. Taylor Swift, oh, you frost bitch, causing people to lose fingers, and steroids are back, baby, in a big way. Now, even though this thing's not going to get off the ground, so these steroid freaks didn't achieve anything, let's talk about some people that did achieve things in their world. And they went out and they had a dream. And they achieved that dream. And they got a piece of paper from an Irish brewery to say, you're the best at this very obscure thing that you do. It's now time for this week's Dumb World Record of the week.
Why?
Why? Why would I? Why? Why?
Why? Why?
Why?
Why?
Why?
Why would you want to
Why would
do
you
that?
do that?
Oh, Kush, you should be excited about this one.
Oh,
because
is David Rush in this?
he's not.
Oh,
he has done a couple, but now because I don't know how you feel about this. Because at the end of the year, we're awarding the David Rush Award for the dumbest world record of the year. I kind of feel like
a conflict of interest.
Yeah, should I admit him? Because it would be a bit weird if we end up giving David Rush a David Rush Award. It's kind of like
probably be rude.
It's kind of like, and if anyone's listening, we're not getting political. No politics. But I did see that Donald Trump bragged that he went to a golf course ran by Donald Trump, and Donald Trump won the Donald Trump Award for best golfer or something like that recently. It was like, oh,
stupid.
Who'd have thunk? But yeah, so this world record, they didn't break the world record, Kush. They didn't break the world record.
Well, how does that work?
They created the world record.
Okay.
So this had never been done before. Boom. first time.
This is a Waffle Box exclusive, y'all.
Yes. Although, when I tell you what the world record is for, I imagine, I could be wrong, you might be like me, where you're like, wait, I'm sure this has been done before, but whatever.
Not per Guinness, apparently. So
Apparently not.
what they do?
So a professional escape artist
Fun.
inaugurated, it's a great word, inaugurated a new Guinness World Record category when he escaped from a water tank in 2 minutes and 11 seconds whilst his hands and feet were restrained.
Yeah, that's Houdini's gimmick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Ended up dying. No, Houdini died getting punched in the stomach. Excuse me.
Wait, what? How did he die from being? I'm sure it's possible, because if you get punched really hard in the stomach, that can fuck your shit up. But
I mean, he was always repeating the same gimmick over and over again, and he was one day just took one too many punches. And there's this thing where like he didn't. The way you take a punch is you exhale, so that you know it's. Anyways, I think he didn't exhale or whatever. If I'm wrong about that, well, my bad. But yeah.
Well, no one check it. As far as we're concerned on Waffle Box, he died from being punched in the stomach. Guinness World Records announced escapologist Andrew Basso is now the first person to hold the record for fastest time to escape from a water tank upside down with restrained hands and feet. A video of the attempt shows Basso removing his handcuffs, dislocating an ankle to free his foot from a restraint.
Oh, fuck.
And then picking a lock at the top of the tank without being able to see it. The end.
Yeah, that's pretty intense.
Now, this for me, I don't know if you agree with me or not, Kush. We're a democracy on Waffle Box. Although there are only two of us, so it doesn't make the democracy very hard, because if we vote for the other one, then it's like, oh, deadlock again. But I didn't put this in the Done World Record because what he did. Because, hey, having your hands and feet restrained and being dunked in a water tank for over 2 minutes and getting out alive is pretty impressive. Although he put himself in that situation, whatever. But as much as I would love to hold a world record, as much as I would love, for 1 year, I would buy like 20 copies for Christmas and give them to all my friends and family, and then suggest they turn to page 46 because guess who's in the Guinness World Record book? But if
those
you
books are
have
expensive too, by the way.
Oh, I bet I don't know. I haven't looked recently.
At least $35. Yeah.
I mean, imagine it. Well, when they got dumb shit like this, it's probably got like 2,000 pages.
Easily.
The fastest person to escape from a water tank with their hands and feet restrained. And then the next one, fastest person to escape from a water tank with their arms and feet restrained whilst blindfolded. Fastest person to escape from a water tank blindfolded, the hands tied and with a hangnail. Like it's just every like little obscure niche on there.
Yep.
But if you have to dislocate your own ankle to achieve a Guinness World Record,
feels like a cheat, right?
Oh, I didn't even think of that, but yeah, I agree with that as well.
What were you saying?
I was just thinking it's dumb as shit. Like, why? Like, if you can't naturally do it, and you have to, like, to achieve this, I'm gonna have to dislocate my ankle. I'll be like, I'll try something else.
You're not Mel Gibson. This ain't Lethal Weapon, stupid. Shut up.
He
used to dislocate his shoulder.
Yeah, and he'd smack it into the wall. But
then
didn't that end up him getting laid though? Did he do that in front of
a... no, not really. No, don't worry about that.
But did he do it with... anyway.
Don't worry about that.
What was your thought?
So this trick is called the milk can trick, or the milk can escape. That's what Harry Houdini used back in the early 1900s. Per the PBS, they say a little after 2 minutes is when he escaped. So, and then Harry Houdini did die on October 31st, 1926.
Oh, Halloween.
With inflammation of the abdominal wall. His appendix was removed, and basically he got punked. Someone punched him in the jejunum and his appendix ruptured, and then he died.
That's pretty embarrassing, if I'm going to be honest. Like, of all the things Harry Houdini did, and you're like, oh, how did he die? Oh, Jesus. I mean, I couldn't even start to think how the things he achieved and what he did and escaped from. Jesus, what was the thing that got rid of him? Oh, my God. Oh, he just got punched. Oh.
His appendix burst. Yeah, he had appendicitis.
Appendicitis.
You know, it's like Evil Knievel falling down the stairs and breaking his neck. You know, the man jumped the Grand Canyon, or a section of it. You know, like the man set himself on fire, and what actually killed him was just like, oh, he just was clumsy one day. That actually didn't kill Evil Knievel. It was just a bad example, but still an example.
No, he famously got ran over by a smart car. That would have been funny as well.
One of those driverless cars.
It's never funny when someone dies, but that would be pretty funny if Evil Knievel died, like in a bicycle accident or something like that. So. Oh, Evil Knievel got hit by a milk truck or something. Anyway, so there you go. Congratulations, I guess, to Andrew Basso for. Okay.
Apparently, hundreds of musicians, hundreds of magicians who have attempted this never thought to give old Ireland a call and be like, hey, guess what I can do? And yeah, so he's apparently the first one to thought to actually call Guinness. Congrats.
Yeah, good for him. I guess he's gonna be happy. But if Andrew ever come out to me and be like, hey, see that water tank over there? I bet if we got hung upside down with our feet and arms restrained and dunked into that tank, I bet I'd get quicker than you. And I'd be like, all right.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, sure. I'll accept that defeat, I guess. Like, what the fuck am I want to do that for? It's stupid. And that's why you are this week's inductee to the Dunwall. Still to come. We got a very special National Joe Day Celebrity Battle Royale, birthday Blackjack, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, much more to be discussed on the flip side of this little commercial break. So stick around. We'd really appreciate it. See you soon.
Sketchers. Sketchers. Sketchers.
It's now time for the middle of the show quiz.
Hey, welcome back to Waffle Box. Episode 143. It's now time for the middle of the show quiz, because it is the middle of the show. It's about the time to play the middle of the show quiz, and this week's edition of Birthday Blackjack. If you're not familiar with the rules, I'm going to give Kush 5 celebrities that celebrate their birthday in the past 7 days, and he has to guess their ages. And with his, let's say if the person's 55 and he guesses 53, that's 2 points because he's 2 out. And the whole name of the game is to stay 21 or under to hit Blackjack. Pretty simple. Right. Kush, are you ready? Are you ready to celebrate these celebrities' birthdays?
I am ready.
Let's play the same old quiz music because I forgot to change it. Oh, he's playing the same song again. God damn it. Number one. Celebrating his birthday on the 21st of March, because we was talking about James Bond last week. So, 21st of March, actor Timothy Dalton celebrated his birthday. How old's old Timmy D now, Kush?
Jeez, funny guy, which has nothing to do with what I'm about to say. I believe he's 68.
68?
Yeah, I feel like I overshot that one.
You overshot? Oh, no, you undershot it. He turned 79.
Wow.
So you're already 11.
11.
You need. I think you might need a spot on one soon to get those -5, which I said I was going to check the tape, but I didn't. But I was going to take your word for it. Question number 2.
Number 2.
On the 22nd of March, Limp Bizkit drummer John Otto celebrated his birthday. But how old is the old Limp Bizkit?
Oh, geez, that guy's probably like 49,
49?
51, 49.
He's 47.
Okay.
Oh, that's not bad, not bad. So 13, still a little wiggle room.
Mhm.
Still time, still good. Number 3.
Number 3.
On the 24th of March, which was a Sunday, if no one likes to celebrate their birthday on a Sunday. What a shit day that is.
Right. It's kind of a bummer.
Yeah. 24th of March, pro wrestler and MMA fighter Jack Swagger.
Oh.
Jack Swagger.
Jack Swagger doing the MMA gimmick now?
Not anymore. So he was pro wrestler for WWE. Then he left and I think he fought for Bellator, if I remember correctly. But now he's back to being a professional wrestler for Tony Khan's All Elite Wrestling.
He was kind of like Brock Lesnar, but smaller. Like he was still doing a wrestler gimmick. Like he had a singlet and a blonde flat top. But
he had a lisp as well.
He had a lisp also, but I don't remember that at all. But okay. Yeah, Jack Swagger was that new. As I was getting out, he was coming in. So he was part of that new class. I was like, Jack Swagger. Cool. Anyway, Jack Swagger is probably about 38 years old.
This is 38. He turned 42.
Fucking hell.
So that takes you to 17. It's not a lost cause.
No, we still got this. We still got this.
We're up to 17, and let's go to question number 4. Snippet number 4.
Number 4.
Window of 4 left? Wow. Don't worry
so
about
yesterday, March 26th, country singer Kenny Chesney celebrated his birthday. How old's old Kenny Chesney?
45.
He turned 56.
Son of a bitch.
That takes you up to 28.
Yeah, that's a bust.
That's a big bust, because even if you get your -5, you're still fucked. But still, let's go for it. Just for funsies.
Number 5.
And today, Wednesday, March 27th, singer and the Black Eyed Peas version of Yoko Ono, Fergie, celebrated her birthday.
She's a nice lady. Leave her.
She ruined the Black Eyed Peas.
I can't debate that. They were a hip hop group, and then she turned them into a pop group. But I think they wanted to be a pop group. But anyways, Miss Fergalicious. Geez.
I'm gonna let the beat rock.
I'm gonna say she's 40.
Oh, you're guessing 40, and instantly you become her best friend. But she turned 49.
Wow, really?
To a total score of 37, which unfortunately does mean this week, Kush.
That was pretty brutal. That first one just killed me. This one wouldn't have helped either, though. If had I done okay on that first one, this one would have also did me in anyways.
Well, yeah, Timothy Dalton and Kenny Chesney, just those two alone got you to 22.
Oh, wow. Yeah. The only reason why I know who Kenny Chesney is he's somehow, it's San Francisco. It's not really a country western town. However, spots outside of San Francisco are very much country western. So he's able to fill up what was then the AT&T Park where the San Francisco Giants play. And I'm like, what the fuck are all these people in cowboy hats here, man? And then like we'd be trying to flyer the train station, and like I guess there's a lot of cocaine or whatever at these country western concerts because they had drug sniffing dogs going through the actual Caltrans trains. Like it was I've never seen anything like that before, dude. I've been to plenty. I've been to Guns N' Roses. I've been to plenty of hip hop concerts. Like there was never a drug sniffing dog within my vicinity.
Oh, you're hanging out with the wrong people then. But there you go.
Weird times. Weird times. Anyway, Kenny
Damn,
Chesney, good for
damn
you.
country music hooligans, scallywags. Anyway, it's now time. Oh, it's now time to get 4 celebrities ready
Yeah, get my
to
pen.
fight as we celebrate National Joe Day in this week's Celebrity Battle Royale.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Yeah. Celebrity Battle Royale. It's where we pit 4 celebrities that are loosely connected up against one another and see who will triumph in a fight to death. Let me crown this week's Celebrity Battle Royale champion. Yes, today, if you didn't know, Wednesday, March 27th is National Joe Day. I don't know why Joes get their day. I don't know when National Michael Day is. I'm pretty damn well. National Kush Day. That's April 20th. Everyone knows that. But I don't get
National
a day.
Mike Day is actually December 12th. It's 1212. Ha, 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 ha. Mic check 1212.
Just
I didn't make
facts,
the
man.
joke. That's a fact.
It's fact. I'll do that. I'm going to use that. I'm going to write that down. All right. Timestamp that. I'm going to remind myself to tell that joke on the 12th of December.
Nice.
Yes. So we picked 4 celebrity Joes.
4 of them.
I hope they've trained. Otherwise, we could see some sloppy Joes in this one.
That's so stupid.
Anyway,
I enjoyed it. It was stupid,
Thank you.
but I enjoyed it.
This week's Joes are in one corner. We have Joe Pesci.
Oh, okay.
You can't have a fight without Joe Pesci.
Yeah, it's kind of an old man now, but okay.
In the second corner, we have Joey Fatone, aka that guy from NSYNC that wasn't Justin Timberlake.
Joey Fat One. Gotcha.
Joey Fat One. In a third corner, Joey Lawrence.
Oh, Joey.
And in the final corner, we have Joe Seth Gordon-Levitt. So Joe Pesci, Joey Fatone, Joey Lawrence, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Okay, Joe Go Love.
JGL. So it's Joe Pesci, Joey Fatone, Joey Lawrence, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Let the fight. Let's go.
All right. So, no offense to Joey Lawrence, but he's going to get distracted very easily by Jogo Lev, who will just like pulls his shirt over his head and just starts pummeling him to death, like just to death. All right. And then Pesci gets in Joey Fatone's ear and he's like, "Hey, yo, you're Italian. I'm Italian. We should be Italian." And like,
Forget about it.
We're gonna get this kid Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and he'd be like, "Hey, I'm Italian too," and they're gonna like, "Shut up, kid!" And they're gonna stomp him out, and poor Jogo Lev goes down for the count. However, that's when Joey Fatone turns to smile at Joe Pesci, who then immediately just starts shanking him in the stomach repeatedly. It's incredibly violent. We're gonna get letters about it for sure. But 78-year-old Joe Pesci is your winner, while he's screaming obscenities at a very high-pitched volume.
He's gonna shank him with a shiv and shiv him with a shank.
There you go. That happened.
So, according to Kush, Joe Pesci is this week's Celebrity Battle Royale champion. And as we turn to the viewer's choice, and Kush, Finally, you are at 1 because with 67% of the vote, the viewers picked Joe Pesci as this week's champion as well. So, beautiful stuff. If you do want to get involved, don't forget to follow us at Waffle Box on Twitter, X, but it's Twitter still. It's not because have you noticed if you type in x.com on a web browser, it just redirects to twitter.com. Like he hasn't bothered. Like he's called it X and all that, but it's still twitter.com. So
I've when the whole change happened, I saw people post videos where their actual tile on their phone changed from the Bluebird to an X. My phone still has the Bluebird on it. I still contact you through Twitter, which is still the app. It's still the app tile on my web browser. It does go to x.com, but it accepts Twitter. No problem.
I don't know. It's probably not going to work very well. But so I have because I didn't want the X logo on my phone. So I downloaded this thing that allows you to edit like the tile and create your own icon-y thing.
That could be fun. I might want to know what that is after the show.
And so for X, let's see if this works. I have. Oh, it's not great.
Elon?
No, it's Exhibit. It's very blurry.
Okay.
But yeah, I have a picture of Exhibit smiling at me, and that's my X logo. That's
okay.
So I'm not.
That's better than the X.
It is
just
right?
the generic.
Or maybe I just use AI to have Exhibit with wings, and that could be like an homage to both X and Twitter. That'd be nice.
I think Exhibit would be wildly creeped out by that, but I appreciate the sentiment.
Appreciate it. Now, shall we talk about a movie, Kush? Shall we talk about the biggest movie this week?
That's still technically true.
And a movie that is very unfortunate. I can get into this, but the title of this movie bothers me. But I'm still.
Did you end up seeing the movie?
I didn't. It's a thing.
Okay.
I'm still kind of annoyed by it, but
okay. Well, let's get into it.
But long story short, so I was on Thursday when the Ghostbusters. By the way, spoiler alert, we're talking about the Ghostbusters movie. Ghostbusters was going to come out, right?
Don't tell me
we're
doing a Ghostbusters.
So I looked at my local AMC theater, and shockingly, the theater. I think it was either 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock showing. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. But it was surprisingly very empty.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, okay, because I don't normally go to opening nights because I'm like, fuck that. I don't want to be packed in with people. And I don't want, because you're always going to have obnoxious people. Like if they find something funny, it's like, or they're on their phone or they're talking. I just don't like when there's too many people in the theater.
Yeah, I understand.
So I was like, oh shit, this is going to be prime and I could get to see it opening night. Perfect. So I text Mrs. Fish and I was like, hey, you want to see Ghostbusters tonight? The thing's like pretty empty. And she was like, well, I wanted to go see Arthur the King on Friday night. And I don't want to go to the movies 2 nights running. So I was like, you know what? Fine, I get it. And she has been wanting to see this movie for a while. So I was like, all right, fine.
She's going to like it too.
You dipped it. We'll go to your movie Friday night. And I'll just wait to see Ghostbusters. And on Friday night, she was like, I don't want to go to movies anymore. We can wait Ghostbusters.
All right. So I understand this is a thing with some people, but are you in that camp where you can't go to the movies without your wife for any reason?
Pretty much.
Oh, see, I don't want that in a relationship. But okay, I will say no further. Other than this review, let's get into it.
To give credit, it's one of those situations. I don't think I would get into trouble if I did. It's just I would feel. Oh, sorry, for those listening, I just banged the microphone. I would feel bad going alone. So
would you feel bad, or do you feel weird about going alone? Because I know that's a thing for some people.
Oh, I mean, you're sitting in a movie theater where it's dark and you're not talking about it. Fuck if I was on my own or not. I'd happily go to movies on my own.
Okay.
It's not even if I go with, I could go 100 people. I'm not talking to them during the movie, so
I would hope not.
But anyway, what a build up this has been. So it's now time for a segment where Kush reviews a movie.
I'm over.
So I was about to like burp and hiccup at the same time, and it didn't happen. In a segment that we like to call Kush's movie review. It's a movie.
Kush's movie review.
This week's Kush's movie review is Ghostbusters, a documentary about porn stars that have unfortunately passed on to the other side, but have luckily been able to continue their living by busting for a fee. That's a very wasn't great, but yeah, it'll work. Ghostbusters, get it?
Only paranormal fans would be going through the roof right now.
All that just spewing their ectoplasm over someone's tits.
Yeah, it's a little necessary. Little unnecessary.
By the way, thanks for tuning into the YouTube version. I'm sure you clicked off by now. Anyway, Kush, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, starring Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Paul Rudd, and God damn it, Ernie Hudson.
Mm-hmm. I mean, those guys are there.
What the? Can we? I apologize to hijack your segment here, but can we just really quickly speak about Ernie Hudson real quick?
Let's talk about Ernie Hudson.
What kind of witchcraft is he on? Like Harry,
he's on that black don't crack witchcraft.
Jesus, because I saw some. I mean, I knew he wasn't young, but when I saw he was like 78 or something
like that, yeah.
He looks like not even joking. He looks amazing.
It looks great for 50, right?
Like Bill Murray. As much as I love him, he looks terrible.
I would say Bill Murray actually looks like a normal 78-year-old.
I guess, man. yeah. It's fair enough. But
Dan Aykroyd surprisingly looks well. Annie Potts is fine.
She looks cool.
Yeah.
Anyway,
whatever.
Sorry. Anyway, talk about the movie.
Oh, sorry. You sure you want to talk about a movie? I can tell you about the time I met Ernie Hudson. It was at a
You met Ernie Hudson?
I've met Ernie Hudson at a comic convention in 2006, 2007, right around that time.
I bet he looked at 18 at the time.
I mean, he looked good. He was also wearing the Ghostbusters jumper, and like we were walking down Autograph Alley or whatever that's called, and it's like, okay, the kid who played young Boba Fett. Okay, there's the kid who played young Anakin Skywalker. Ernie Hudson, what the hell are you doing here? $20 for a Polaroid. I can't give you $20 quick enough here, man. Holy shit. By the way, his Polaroid was on the fritz, so like the photo I got is like the photo came out as if it was 20 years old when it had just been taken. And I know you're supposed to like blow them off and let them cool off for a second, but like no, the photo came out aged. I don't know what happened or whatever, but I didn't say anything. I was just happy to talk to Ernie Hudson for 5 minutes. No one else was there, so he was just like, "Oh yeah, man, I had a good time doing this and that." And anyway, that's I still have that Polaroid somewhere in a shoebox here somewhere, or probably that photo album over there. But anyway,
you should have secretly recorded that conversation and released it as an option as an interview.
Not an option at the time. Our phones weren't really that sophisticated.
Ernie Hudson, if you want to come on, we don't normally do interviews, but I'd make an exception if Ernie Hudson wants to come on for an episode of Waffle Box. Fuck yeah.
I would gladly have Ernie Hudson on this show. I'm pretty sure he's just gonna be like, nah. Maybe later.
You got $20.
I mean, Ernie Hudson's working now. He's on a bunch of TV shows that you and I are not watching. So, but anyway, let's talk about this review. Ghostbusters Afterlife. No. Psych. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. It's PG-13. It is 1 hour and 55 minutes.
Ooh, Justin.
Written and directed by a man named Gil Keenan. Gil actually had a hand with Jason Reitman's script on Ghostbusters Afterlife, and then Jason Reitman is also credited as a writer on this. But well, I guess I just said it there. I did not credit any of the original Ghostbusters in this cast. They're there. They're Ray and Winston are the only two people that are there, like maybe over 10 minutes. Everyone else is just in, they're out. For whatever reason, they're wearing a jumpsuit now. They actually don't need to be there whatsoever. Not at all. But stars: Paul Rudd, Carrie Coon, Mackenzie Grace, Kumail Nanjiani, and then a young woman I've never heard of before, Emily Allenberg. And the entire time I'm watching her performance, she's a ghost in this movie, a ghost that befriends McKenna Grace. There's a weird supernatural lesbian girl crush thing happening there. Anyways, the entire time I'm watching this girl, I'm just like, is that Jenna Ortega? Because she looks exactly, with the makeup and the lighting and everything they've done to her through CGI, it looked 100% like Jenna Ortega. As you can tell, it was not Jenna Ortega, but that was a big thing for me for a good chunk of the movie. I don't hate this movie. Not my favorite movie whatsoever. There's ha-has in it. It's fun. It's at least the second movie out of 5 that has a different bad guy in it. The other one would be Ghostbusters 2 and Vigo the Carpathian.
Great villain.
I forget what the villain's name in this is, but he's some evil, super duper, supernatural frost demon. I don't know. He's been imprisoned in an orb, and Kumail Nanjiani accidentally sets him free because he doesn't understand his heritage or some nonsense. I don't know. Mike, did you ever get to watch the real Ghostbusters growing up? The cartoon?
Did I?
Well,
I was big. Yes, I did. And but I was at that age where I thought the Ghostbusters movie was a movie adaptation of the real Ghostbusters, and it blew my mind when I found out that the cartoon was based off the movie. The movie was first.
I think
yes, I loved Ghostbusters. Real Ghostbusters.
You're like between 4 and 6 years younger than me, so I totally get when that first came out how you would make that connection. And also, they did an episode where, oh, hey, we're gonna make a movie about you guys, and we're gonna call it Ghostbusters. And then sure enough, they actually go to the movie, and sure enough, they're playing scenes from the movie itself. It was all under Columbia Pictures and TriStar, so it was.
And they're like walking down the street, and then Slimer trips up Ray, I think if I remember correctly, and drags him along.
Something like that. Yeah.
Fun fact.
Anyways,
because of the real Ghostbusters, when back in the day when I was in a band, and when I say I was in a band, I would be
you're in a band.
Me and my friends like just jammed together.
Okay, that's still a band.
One of our things, we called ourselves the Longigons.
The Longigons.
The Longigons. And our thing would be like, we would take a photo, we would get a towel and roll it up and then put it on top of our head. It'd be the Egon haircut from the real Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
I
never understood the character design choices they made. They did everything they could to make them not look like the actors from the movie. It's actually amazing that Winston was black in the cartoon.
Another fun, what I'm thinking of this, shooting off the hip. I know you know this, but I'm going to ask you anyway.
Please.
What is the fun fact connecting Peter Venkman from the movie to the real Ghostbusters?
So Lorenzo Music would be his for a minute would be his voice actor, and same guy who did Garfield, and then Bill Murray would also do Garfield. Was that the late 90s or the early millennium?
Yeah. So
anyways, Bill Murray was in the live action Garfield before Chris Pratt was, and
and then the guy who did the cartoon version of Garfield did also the cartoon version of Peter Venkman.
Just the facts.
They even make a joke about that in the episode I just mentioned, where they're like, Why do I sound like Garfield?
Love it.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Also, fun fact about the cartoon: Dave Coulier would end up picking up for Lorenzo Music, or maybe Lorenzo Music stole it from Dave Coulier. I don't know, but those two were Peter Venkman, and then Arsenio Hall was originally Winston.
Just the facts, ma'am.
And then something happened where he wasn't Winston anymore. I forget who
He
took
became
over.
too big for his britches because he was a talk show host.
This was years before the talk show. This was years before even like Harlem Nights.
He becomes friends with Eddie Murphy.
Well, he was probably always friends with Eddie Murphy. But anyways, Frozen Empire. Anyways, I asked you about the cartoon because 25 minutes of this 1 hour and 55-minute movie is a really dope episode of the real Ghostbusters. A minus Egon, of course, but still, whatever. And then the next 85 minutes of this movie is just kind of it's stuff. It's a lot of callbacks to the previous movie, Ghostbusters Afterlife. Mackenzie Grace has to make a weird science pun, but because the theater's so goddamn loud, you don't hear it, but you recognize that that's a thing that happened. Wolfgang Van Stranger Things, whatever his name is. That guy has no business being in this movie.
Wolfgang McStranger Things.
Wolfgang McStranger Things. No offense to him, he has no business being in this movie. They've done nothing to give him a real character.
Wolfgang McStranger Things has a real again. I'm sure he's a lovely person in real life, but he has one of those faces.
Yeah, like especially in this movie.
I don't like the cut of his jib. Fix your face.
His whole gimmick throughout this whole movie is just he's hunting down Slimer, who has no business being in this movie again either. Again, Slimer is unless we're actually bleeding into the world of the real Ghostbusters, Slimer should just be in the containment unit. We'll get back to the containment unit. What else? Oh, the Wolfgang von McStrange Things. His love interest from the last movie is for some reason in this movie. This was a chick who was flipping burgers in a little small Midwest town, and now she's just doing an internship in Winston's super secret Ghostbusters lab. It doesn't.
What are the chances?
A lot of stuff in this that doesn't make any sense. The character podcast, enjoyed him quite a bit. Again, same thing. Like, I'm interning at Ray's weird, creepy bookstore, like for the summer, and my mom thinks I'm at space camp. Like, I like seeing you here, dude, but again, like this doesn't make any sense here. And then Mackenzie Grace, who carried the last movie, has nothing to do here. Again, they give her nothing. There's this weird paranormal lesbian girl crush thing happening. It goes nowhere. It doesn't even get to the first syllable. We don't even get geek. All right, like the character's 15, by the way. Come on.
Oh, sorry. Oh wait,
that's why I keep saying girl crush.
Oh, for some reason I thought you were talking about the woman who was Paul Rudd, kind of like in and off and on again in the last one. I thought you were talking about her.
No. So that's the mom. Also has no business being here. I don't know why half the characters are here. It's nice to see Ray actually has something to do, and they try to give him something to do with girl McKenna. But it's again, there's a very cool 25-minute episode of the real Ghostbusters in this, and then 80 minutes of just what is happening here. Movie starts off with an opening chase where they're racing through downtown New York traffic. You'll probably appreciate this, but then that stupid gunner seat comes out, which is fine when you're driving down a non-occupied Midwest road, but when you're going against New York City traffic,
yeah, you're not getting up to 6 miles per hour in real life if that was the case.
No, it's amazing that they're actually speeding through any traffic.
Yeah,
it's there's a lot wrong with this. It's not the worst movie though. I would say it's out of now 5 movies in the Ghostbusters franchise, I would say it's the third best, which isn't helping its chances. meaning part 4 or the fourth best movie is Answer the Call. That's Girl Ghostbusters. And then the worst movie is still Ghostbusters 2. So
whoa,
that's not a no. Ghostbusters 2 is a terrible fucking movie.
Emotional damage.
what?
Great
Ghostbusters 2 is
soundtrack.
a
I'll rock
great
the Ghostbusters 2
movie.
soundtrack right now, dude. Let's break some fucking RICCA laws, dude. Let's break some trademark laws. Let's copyright laws. Let's play some Ghostbusters 2 soundtrack.
We're gonna have to take it out.
We got.
Bobby Brown before he got weird. That was a great,
He was
great
probably
song.
weird. We just
Maybe.
didn't know it yet. Yeah,
Hey,
that whole
can I get the
soundtrack
one
is
else
great.
for my kid, brother? These are toys.
That's
Step
kinda how
aside,
that line
Bobby
went.
Brown.
That's kind of how that line went. So
It's a great movie. Somebody get me the Ghostbusters.
there are laughs in that too. But yeah, that's
Dickless here. Is this true? Yes, it's true.
Part 1.
This man has no dick. Is that
That's
was it
part 1. That's number 1. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. That number 2, Dickless, was the guy that put me in the middle.
Speaking of Dickless is the mayor in this movie.
Good. He should
And
be in it. He was a great Ghostbusters character.
Fine. Yeah. And then it's been 40 years, so sure, he's risen up the ranks to be the mayor, but for nothing. There's a lot of nothing that happens in this movie, man. It's I heard the budget for this was $100 million, so I'm honestly surprised it was, for what a blockbuster is these days. I'm surprised it was that cheap. They went full CGI on this though, whereas the last
you
one,
never go full CGI.
the last Afterlife with Jason Reitman, we tried to recreate as many of the practical effects from my dad's movie that we could. And that's why that is the second best Ghostbusters movie right now. Also, it had a lot of heart in it. I couldn't give a shit about half of the stuff in here. Like I said, like, why is this here? Why is that there? Oh, the little Stay Puft Marshmallow Men, cute in the first movie for 3 minutes, and then that dragged on, and then they're all over. They're
back again.
All over this movie.
Merchandise, baby. Get those merchandise dollars.
Fuck off. Yeah, nah. It's and again, I didn't hate this movie. Not the worst movie of the year. Not the worst movie in the Ghostbusters franchise. Everyone listening to this, if you haven't seen it already, you can absolutely wait for this to come on streaming in the next 6 weeks from when we release this. I'm giving it a 3 out of 5, so it's not a terrible rating. I would like to give this a better review. I thought I would end up giving this a worse review. I understand it's got a rotten score on Rotten Tomatoes right now, and again, that's not one website doing that. That's an accumulation of
sheep. Don't worry about other people's
different
opinion.
things.
See it yourself, pick your own opinion. You might agree, but
I think it's all justified. I think the negative comments on this movie are justified, but it's fine.
No,
it's only okay.
I haven't seen this movie yet, but
I bet you don't hate it. I bet you have a good
don't
time.
hate it.
Kush, I had such a good time. We laughed so much.
But it's the people. I feel that the people who rate things on IMDb or whatever Rotten Tomatoes, tomato, you say tomato, are like they're dicks, right? Because they're trying to be like the next Robert and Engelbert. What's his name? The two famous movie critics. I don't know.
Or Ebert, Siskel and Ebert.
Yeah, there's. Whereas that, look, you're watching Ghostbusters 5 or 4, depending on whatever. Like, what was you expecting at this point? It's like
a good Ghostbusters movie,
but got Bill and Ted 3 or 4, whatever.
Wasn't good.
It wasn't good, but it was like, what was you expecting?
I was actually not expecting it to be good, so I was not disappointed.
Exactly. So I'm like, whatever. Yeah. But also again. Don't, because maybe I'm just thinking the vast majority of people who are probably going to go see Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, probably this isn't going to be their first Ghostbusters movie.
No,
so it's like
there's a couple kids in my audience.
Well, I'm sure there will be some, but yeah, the majority of people are going this because they've seen at least Afterlife.
So, dude, I saw I saw the Thursday screening. I texted you about it, and for me, it was 3 in the afternoon on Thursday, so I was not surprised that my theater wasn't full. Um, saw the movie, went home, took a nap, came back to that same theater to catch another movie that, for whatever reason, was only playing once and after 9:30. Anyways, while waiting for that movie to start, I saw two dudes. One dude was dressed in like some Ghostbusters paraphernalia, and I was like,
Nice.
that's actually a pretty cool jacket, but I couldn't wear that more than this specific screening that I've already seen. It would just take up space and I wouldn't buy it. However, there was another guy who, I know we played the age game a while ago, but this dude was at least like 23, and he had some real Ghostbuster replica action figures. Then he was, I'm not gonna say he was playing with them, but he was definitely posing them and then taking pictures with his popcorn. And I was just like, oh, this gentleman is definitely unstable. I'm afraid to be this close to him. I'm trying not to draw attention, but he's being very obvious.
I'm not going to judge anyone because I'm not going to move the cat, but I have action figures up there of certain professional. But I'm not taking my action figures to the wrestling. That'd be weird.
I mean, unless you want to get someone so to sign that action figure, that would be cool.
Well,
but yeah, you're totally not doing Kofi Kingston and Triple H like oh pedigree.
I don't think British Bulldog and Andre the Giant are going to be available for autographs anytime soon, but
probably not. So I mean, this movie has fans. It actually, again, it was the #1 movie of the weekend. It did just a little bit better than Ghostbusters Afterlife's opening, like just a sliver better. But of course, ticket prices have gone up since then.
Inflation.
Families are going to see this, and then Ghostbuster fans. And when I say fans, I'm talking about like people dressing up in the jumpsuit with the proton pack and a puppet Slimer or a puppet little Marshmallow Man, and taking group photos. Like those folks are seeing this. I suppose they're better than the folks who dress up for Star Wars in Stormtrooper gear. You guys are embarrassing. However, it's a little much. I don't know why you have to base your personality on being a fan of a thing. I love Ghostbusters. I love that first Ghostbusters. I have owned it now on many formats. Even to the point where my original VHS tape broke because I watched it that much when I was a kid. Ghostbusters 2, despite my bad review of it, is the first movie I saw multiple times in the theater because I wanted to see the new Ghostbusters in 1989.
Well, it is this movie. The Ghostbusters movies are so good. You can say that that's the worst movie of the bunch, but it's still a good movie. Like I say, it's still a goddamn good movie. But
I'm glad you like it.
I was trying to olive branch here, but you snapped it. I'm
sorry.
I'm not going to begrudge anyone for making a movie and making money and yada yada yada. I'm happy for everyone, but just for the fanboy in me, just for the emotional connection, I thought Ghostbusters Afterlife, just because of the way they had the ghost of Egon and stuff like that, I thought that would have been a great way of and that's the Ghostbusters.
Which is why I was not excited about this movie. I was like, you guys stuck the landing. Like I was dreading Ghostbusters Afterlife, and walking out of it. One, I was an emotional mess after the Egon scene, and two, I was like, this is now my favorite movie of the year. I didn't say it was the best movie of the year, but it became my favorite movie of the year when I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be the worst fucking time of my life. So this doesn't do any of that though. There's no emotional connection. You really don't give a shit. There's gonna be another one because of this weekend's results. There's gonna be another one. Again, it wasn't an expensive movie. It is still a franchise.
Paul Rudd's Ghostbusters now. Let's go Paul Rudd's Ghostbusters universe, and we're living in it.
Paul Rudd can come back. Mackenzie Grace can come back. Ray can come back. Winston can come back. Everyone else needs to sit on the bench. Kumail Nanjiani is funny, but he's wasted in it also. Patton Oswalt, kind of surprised he wasn't a Ghostbuster. But then like I thought we were going to finish this review, but we're still going. So anyway, they're very early in the movie. Like I said, there's a high speed chase. We're chasing after a ghost or whatever. The thing with the gunner seat, whatever. That ends, and then they get cussed out by Mayor Dickless, and it turns out like, oh yeah, the new Ghostbusters actually have a 15-year-old girl working for them. Oh, and for free. By the way, she's got a remember everyone's favorite scientific line. She's got an unlicensed nuclear proton accelerator on her back. All right, the kid's got a weapon of mass destruction, and by the way, destroyed multiple buildings. Like, yeah, they should have clipped her wings. However, she's sulking the entire movie, which again, that's what 15-year-old girls do. But then it's revealed that Winston has a super secret Ghostbusters lab. She could just intern there. She could learn about all the ghosts they've captured. The containment unit. The containment units overflowed. That was the end credit scene for the previous Ghostbusters movie. It's the one thing they actually carried over into this one. And guess what? Someone goes like, well, how long before you guys build a bigger one that we can transfer things to? And they're like, oh, you don't know? We got a super secret Ghostbusters lab right over here. And like, so you know this has been a thing? You know this could potentially be a thing and you haven't done anything about it? Like, fucking hell. There's a lot of dumb shit happening in this movie. We go any further, I'm just gonna like reenacting the movie. So, anyways, 3 out of 5. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. It's a stupid title, also based on everything. Let's not get into it. Yeah.
Before we wrap up the movie segment of this show, let me just read something from Facebook, which I want to talk about with Kush. So someone recently updated their Facebook status with, quote, "Man baby movie fans, I'm tired of fan nostalgia. Also, man baby movie fans, oh my god, they made a new Beetlejuice. I'm so excited." Which, yeah, I took that because I'm very excited about the new Beetlejuice. So, Kush, are you calling me a man baby movie fan?
With a beard. A bearded man baby.
Bearded man baby. I will, to be fair. I will. Because I am...
Best case scenario, Beetlejuice 2 will be good. But right now, I'm just like, why do we need this? You want to do a sequel? All right. I think a reboot would be better, but sure. Sequel. Sure. Bring in Michael Keaton. Why do we need to talk about the Dietz family more? I don't even really remember what the point of the last movie was.
Yeah, ended. Well, it does say
first movie's a classic. Like, we love the first movie.
The only way, because I am the first to say I hate prequels. Fucking hate prequels.
Okay, well, it's definitely not a prequel.
Because you always know how it's going to end because you've seen the original movie. So, blah, blah, blah. Especially when they do characters like in peril. Like, oh my god, are they going to die? No, they don't die because they're in the fucking original movie, you dick. Like, but if they were going to do another Beetlejuice movie, a Beetlejuice origin story would have been somewhat interesting to see, like how he became Beetlejuice. That could have been interesting. But yeah, I'm going to be interested in this. I'm going to watch it as well. I just hope, and I will say I'm a hypocrite because I hate nostalgia for nostalgia's sake.
Also, it was my post spot on.
Yeah, it was. I will give you credit for that. But yeah, because I was just come up with some original ideas. Jesus Christ! But I must admit, I am hyped for Beetlejuice 2 or Beetlejuice. The only one. If this doesn't happen, I will be pissed the fuck off. I want the movie to open up. First scene. Beetlejuice in the waiting room, staring at that piece of paper.
Now serving 9,999,000.
His number finally comes up. That'd be like, because that's how they could get away with the whole Harold. I think that'd be fucking hilarious. Or
I bet you someone actually had that in their script.
Oh, it has to be. Or have like an opening where it's super almost serious, where like Jenny Ortega's character is being introduced, and it's because there's bits in the teaser where looks like they're at a funeral, so something serious has happened, and it's like super, and
I
then
think Charles Dietz is dead, and that's because they can't hire what's his name in good conscience anymore.
But then, so a super serious opening, and then some like elevator music hits, and you see Beetlejuice sitting in the waiting room still, and the whole theater would erupt in laughter, and I think it'd be great. That's how they need to introduce it. But,
we shall see.
We shall see. That, as I text, I think I believe I text you where I said the Beetlejuice teaser does what it says on the tin. Oh, what a tease! It was a very good.
You texted me before I realized, or even saw like a post of it on Facebook before I saw the trailer in Ghostbusters.
This is how excited I was, shamelessly excited I was about the Beetlejuice teaser trailer. I text word for word this to someone, and this shows how like bad I am as a friend. I text someone, "Hi, I hope you haven't changed your number, but the new Beetlejuice trailer." So I hadn't texted this person in years, but I was like, "Oh, this person, if I remember correctly, this person will be excited about this." And I texted, right?
Did they reply?
They replied, "Hi, oh my god, thanks for letting me know."
That's the best part of the story, though.
Exactly. Yeah. Anyway, Jesus Christ. That was a good 30-minute review of.
We actually don't need to put any of the Beetlejuice stuff in the review that you isolate.
Well, I'll try to edit that. Yeah.
Yeah, just edit it, dude. How about that? It's very simple edit.
Making me do work.
I know. I'm sorry. Your James Bond video is doing pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Did I put that up?
You did put that up.
I forgot.
No.
I'm getting old. Oh my god. I'm a new dad. Got another dog, and I'm drunk all the time. You can't expect me to remember everything. I don't sleep.
Very New Jersey of you.
Thanks. Anyway, right, let's wrap this show up. For God's sake, for the sake of all the children. In a way that's going to make us all feel warm and fuzzy inside. Ooh, tingles. It's now time for this week's Feel Good Story of the week.
It's the coolest fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane. Can I hear it again?
You're gonna
This week's Feel Good Story takes us to. Where the fuck does this take us to? Anyway, somewhere in Tennessee.
I relate.
Tennessee. As Jeff Jarrett, JEFFJERRET from TENNESSE. Woo! No, that was Tennessee Lee. Jeff Jarrett with Tennessee Lee. Anyway, doesn't matter. If you didn't watch wrestling in the 90s, you're probably like, what the fuck are you talking about? Anyway, so a British runner has made history this week by becoming the first woman to finish one of the world's hardest ultra marathons. Jasmine Paris from Midlothian, Scotland, and gather in people. Right? This is a little trick that the British media do, right? Because she's from Scotland, right? Which is in Britain. She is British. But this is what. So if she'd have fucked up and not did it, like finished or something, it would have said Scottish runner fails to finish the race. But because she did it, they're trying to group. She's British. She's British like us.
Okay. Yeah.
They're like scumbags, the English media.
Anyway. Every time our kid bakes up, it's my child. But every time he does something good, he's your child.
Exactly. Jasmine Paris from Midlothian, Scotland, completed the Barkley Marathons in Tennessee with just 1 minute, 39 seconds to spare of the 60-hour cutoff.
Wow, 60 hours.
60 hours. She was so exhausted, she slumped to the ground after finishing the race, which is inspired by a famous prison escape. If you're not familiar with the Barkley Marathons, the course at Frozen Head State Park in Tennessee covers 100 miles. So it's like a 20-mile circuit that you have to do 5 times within a certain allotted time each leg.
Jesus Christ.
But also, the track features 60,000 feet of climb and descent, which averages out to be about twice the height of Mount Everest.
Oh, fucking hell.
So you have to cover 100 miles and climb up and down Mount Everest
A
in
couple
60
times?
hours.
Oh,
A few times.
A few times.
In 60 hours.
What the fuck is wrong with people, man? Like,
well, so the race started in 1989. Well, it started before then, but it was a shorter circuit. So the 100-mile version started in 1989. Only 20 people have ever been able to finish it.
Wow.
Which is ridiculous.
I'm guessing it's not like 20 years. I'm guessing like there was one you're like, yeah, 3 people made it.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe. Yeah,
maybe,
I don't know exactly.
Maybe.
But so in 35 years of doing it, only 20 people have finished, which shows you how difficult this might be.
Years, no one did.
So pictures of the race finish line on Friday show her legs scratched from pushing through sharp bushes and scrub in dense forest on steep slopes. Having lost her voice from heavy breathing during the race, Jasmine was unable to speak, so had to communicate with the media through text messaging. And said that she was overjoyed to have completed it. David Miller, a professional photographer at the race, told BBC he had witnessed the, quote, greatest ultra marathon achievement of all time. There was a lot of anticipation at the finish line, and 3 minutes before the 60-hour cutoff, we heard shouting and a roar, and it was people cheering Jasmine on. She was sprinting and giving it her all, as there was no room for error, because otherwise she would not have made the cutoff. She touched the gate and collapsed in exhaustion. It was the best thing I've ever seen. It was unbelievable. Now, a few days later, Jasmine caught her breath and got her voice back and said that she hoped what she did not only inspires other runners, but just generally people in general to say, you know, you might think you won't be able to do this, but fucking just do it. Just try it and you can fucking achieve anything. And like, yeah, if you Google it, look at this up, spend 5 minutes looking at the Barkley Marathon, like, fuck. Like, so hats off to Jasmine, first woman to ever finish this. One of only 20 humans to finish this in 35 years. Legend. And also, you are British because you did it. You achieved it. Because if you didn't, you would be a dirty Scottish woman. And I would not acknowledge you at parties.
I might even spit on your kilt.
Yeah. In your haggis.
Do Scottish women wear kilts, or do they just wear work dresses?
Let us know at Waffle Box on Twitter. If you are a Scottish woman, do you wear kilts? We would like to know. Yeah. That wraps up this week's Waffle Box. Thank you all for watching. Kush, are you feeling passive aggressive again this week, or do you want to promote anything?
We actually have an episode getting ready this week. Drew Angelman is going to be on. We're going to talk about our most anticipated 3 movies coming out in the second quarter of this year in our Lord 2024. Waffle Box, or Microdose, etc., etc., etc.
Go to Bosnia.family for all the links. And stuff. Follow me at Only Mike Fish. Follow him at Cushford Hayes on Facebook. Lathan. Any final thoughts for this week?
Good night, everyone. But before we go, I'd like to remind you all that Sloth from the Goonies was played by John Matuzak, who was the #1 overall pick in the 1973 NFL Draft. I have nothing else to add to that little nugget of information. I'm just going to take the pin out and leave that fact grenade, ready for it to blow your mind. See you all next week.
Pretty good fact.
Just the facts, ma'am.
He's buried in Minneapolis, Minnesota, too.
Oh, he's dead?
Been dead. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, you could have softened the blow on that one.
Sloth. Nah.
R.I.P. to Sloth.
R.I.P.
And John Muzurek, whatever.
Matuzak.
Oh, just what? That's ending the show on a real bummer. Way to go, Lathan and Kush. But yes, it's a goodbye from me. It's good night from him, and until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.
That's all, folks.
Play me off, Johnny.